I'm going to be using this section of the board only, from here over to there. And it's extremely confining because I'm used to walking all over the class. So this is new to everybody. I'm happy to see you all have masks. Everybody got their nose covered up too. Okay. Also keep your face off your mask. Or I mean your hand off of you. That's kind of hard, isn't it? Keep your hand off of your mask. Okay. Because if the mask collects stuff and you touch it, you transfer that to your hands. And you should absolutely avoid picking your nose. That if you pick your nose, you might as well just take a needle and stick it in your arm. You might as well inoculate yourself, because that's a great way to do it. But it's unusual circumstances. I've never done this before. I've been teaching for 30 years. Never, I knew we were screwing up the planet. I've known this for quite a while. I knew that after I was dead, you know, that was hopefully 30 years, 40 years in the future, that the planet would probably be messed up. I didn't think I would see it at this age, when I've still got a good 30 years ahead of me. Okay, and I certainly didn't think you people would have to deal with it. Okay, but we do. Now, everybody knows you have to have a mask. Everybody's got it. Thank God. Thank you all. Okay, you should be wearing that mask at all times. Pretty much at all times. Really, at all times. What's going to make this work or not work is you. The university has done a tremendous job of trying to make a go at this. Okay, I'll tell you, I am an administrative malcontent. Usually that means the administration can't usually do anything right. However, in this case, credit where credit is due. They've done a great job. What's going to make this work or not work is you. And it's not about, you can pick up it's not about what you're doing here on campus. You should have your mask on at all times, but it's what you're doing off campus. Yesterday I saw a group, obviously a fraternity group, about 20 people walking away from the Sand Spring Bar, all huddled together, none of them wearing masks. That's how it spreads. Okay? I saw a young lady this morning, met her in the hallway. Please pick up in the hallway, and she was doing what every freshman does when they come here, trying to figure out what building they were in. But you can't see me smiling. This sucks. You can't see me smiling. You can hear me laughing though, right? Okay. Are you our student ambassador?
Yes, sir.
Aha. Okay.
Yes,
nice
sir.
to meet you. You sent me an email, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Where exactly is it okay for me to sit?
Any of these places, I wouldn't sit there, but maybe any place where there's not a red flag, as far away as you can from everybody. You know, this might work. We might not have to videotape it. Anyway, when I told her, you know, when she was talking to me, she pulled her mask down to ask me a question. She pulled her mask down to ask me a question. I was like, "What are you doing?" You know. I said, "No, you can hear through the mask. Believe me, you can hear through the mask." And she says, I'm sorry. We're not used to this. You know, imagine, the thing I compare this to is if you imagine London during World War II. Does anybody know what you had to do in London or the surrounding region in England every evening? What were you required to do? Close your windows and keep any lights from coming out into the night so that the bombers could not have anything to aim at. And if you violated the lights out, they would fine you. And if you said, I have a right to have fresh air in my room and I don't think it's right that I have to close my window and not breathe the fresh outside, they'd probably club you over the head. Because you're endangering all of the people around you by providing a target. Who can tell me, what's the real purpose of the mask? Yes, sir.
So that you don't touch.
And you don't have yours on. So, what does this mean? You really can't have drinks during the class. Because, and boy, I love water, but we really can't do it because you have to pull your mask down, and that means you could expose him. Just be aware of that. And eating too. I normally allow people to have drinks, water, whatnot. Now, if you've got a way of getting it through,
I was trying.
I don't know, but go ahead anyway. First name?
David.
David. Why is the mask?
I think it's just important because not only are you protecting yourself, but just like the small things, say if I were to sneeze, and now it gets on like the desk that everyone's going to touch.
Okay. You're half right because studies are starting to show that the mask does provide some protection to you. But you're wearing the mask to protect everybody else. It has been absolutely proven that your breathing out the virus is how other people catch it. The mask is very effective at blocking. Some people say, but the virus is really small, Dr. Latta, how you get... No, it's riding along on water droplets. It's riding along on little water droplets, and if someone inhales that up their nose, they got it, okay? And by wearing the mask, you prevent you primarily from infecting anybody else. And the problem with this goddamn thing, pardon me, is that it is possible for you to be sick and to not know it. Which means you could be infecting other people and not know that you have it. There's a strong tendency to think that if you've got a friend with you, that the friend is okay. You don't have to wear the mask with the friend. I'm sorry, unless you're living with that person on a day-to-day basis, like I don't have to wear a mask with my wife. But if I go out and my best friend's at the grocery store, we shouldn't take our masks down because we know it. That doesn't mean the virus doesn't care who the person is. It doesn't care. So follow the rules that they gave you in that sheet there. Okay, this agreement, which means you have your mask on at all times, pretty much when you're on campus. But the really hard part is when you're not on campus. Okay, it's really tempting to say, let's all meet up at a bar. I know I'd love to do that, but no, don't do that. I do go out to eat, and when I do, I find the farthest recess. Last night I was in Ruby. I was off in a corner away from any ventilators. Still kept my mask on when I wasn't eating. Avoid what they say here. How do they say it? Adhering to a social distancing properly. And here is a biggie. Limiting travel. Now what does that mean? What does that mean, limiting travel? What exactly does that mean? Somebody, first name?
Oliver.
Oliver, yeah. What does it mean, limiting travel? In a practical sense.
All right, well, I guess you just don't go to other states or go to other counties. You stay here.
Which means on the weekend, what are you not really supposed to do?
You're not supposed to go back home.
You're not supposed to go back home.
That's why they have liquor stores.
Huh?
That's why they have liquor stores.
Well, I'll tell you, this is my jail cell. See that line is, if I go outside of here, I'm a performer, I'm an award-winning musician and videographer. And yes, you can go on YouTube right now and watch lots of my music videos, my science videos and movies, but still, that's pretty confining, okay? That's a pretty confining space. I have it zoomed in so that this is what you see. I don't care if you see me, I'm ugly. Okay, I want you to see what's on the board, and I've worked the system out so that you should be able to watch these videos, which I'll be talking about. You should be able to watch them on your phone if you want, okay? So anyway, going home is, you can't stop that, right? You can't just totally stop that. Your parents want to see you, you want to see your parents, but you need to cut it down drastically. Because now you become a potential carrier, carrying it back to Baltimore or Washington or whatever you live down there, Laurel, whatever. And also, when you come back, you potentially carry it back with you. And traveling of the virus, that is what spreads it. So you've got to learn to be more on your own. At least when I grew up, once I left home, I didn't want to go home. Okay, things are different now, but you can pick up a spot there, and there's a nice big open space there. Any place that hasn't got that red sign on it is great, okay? All right, so I already told you a little about, I'm Dr. Greg Latta. I am a physicist and mathematician, and I am a singer and musician. And if you watch some of my videos, I've won many awards for my music, my songwriting, and recordings. And I mean I've won lots of money. You see that camera? Well, that was paid for by money that I won from doing recordings from the state, okay? That was only part of the award, okay? The rest of it was a ukulele, but, you know, you got to do a little bit of each one. Anyway, I love the arts and so forth, and I love teaching, and I hate online teaching. I'll just tell you that right now, I hate it. But we do what you got to do, okay? So what I figured out is if you look around, we're actually pretty well spread out. And what I would suggest you might do is just try and keep yourself distance away from folks. But what I intend to do to start with is to video every single lesson and then have you come every other lesson. That will cut the number of people in this room in two. It's also a half step towards going completely online, which I hope we don't have to do. We will definitely be all here when we take the 4 exams, okay? But as an extra measure, you're all spaced out according to what they say is safe, okay? Unless you believe certain political parties who don't believe in any of this happening, but they're burying their heads in the sand, okay? We won't go into that one, but you should, so what I decided to do is to go a little bit more and just cut the number of people in the class in half. Good man, okay, yeah. It doesn't hurt to do that, you know, and what that means is you'll be watching a video in between every other lesson. So if you take a look at that sheet that I handed out that shows the group you're in, remember you're an A or a B, okay, A, B, whatever. And if you take a look at the end of the syllabus, that page at the end, I've also put these things on Canvas. So you can also get these online. They're there under Files. If you go to Canvas and click on this course, and then click on Files, you'll see tentative lecture schedule, you'll see the syllabus in case you can't keep up with it. So what you see is on Wednesday, only those of you who are A's are going to come. Okay? On Friday, only the B's will come. Next Monday, we do have class, and the A's come, and you can see it alternates AB, 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 AB. The hard part here, got to remember that I got to stay on camera. Okay, so you're going to have, if you watch this video, you'll see this blank screen with this disembodied voice talking. Okay. But what you're going to have to do in between the live classes is you're going to have to watch the video. And that means you're probably going to have to watch it on a Tuesday or a Thursday. It takes time. I don't just take this video and slap it on YouTube. I like YouTube because I control my YouTube channel. And Canvas, frankly, to me sucks, and I don't like it. YouTube, you know, I've been on there for years now, and I know how to do it, so that's the way I'll do it. There will be a playlist on YouTube, okay? Now, how do you find me on YouTube? Well, it's easy. Just go to YouTube and type my name, and that will take you to my channel. Also, you can go to greglatta.com, and there is a link to my YouTube videos. That's my breakout page on the internet. I have a ham radio page, I have a music page, I have a marimba page, I've got a science page, I've got a mechanics page, but you'll see a link on there that says a YouTube icon on the upper right, and that will take you to my YouTube channel. And the playlist, I'm going to call it, is Cosmic Concepts Fall 2020. And as I upload videos, they will show up under that playlist. Also, I'll try to do this on Canvas. I'm going to have a module, and I'll call it videos, And what I will do is here's what I will do for sure. Whenever I put a video on there, I'll send a regular email out saying, here's the latest video and here's the link straight to it. It's just as easy for me to use FSU's conventional, pick one of these up. It's just as easy for me to pick up or to use the regular email as it is to try to use the messenger thing in Canvas, okay? So I'm going to, for the moment, use regular email, okay? But I'll send out a note whenever I post a video, and like today, barring any difficulties, by the end of the day I should have it posted. Now obviously you're not going to need to watch this one. Question? Oh, okay. Yeah, questions, by the way, are encouraged. You're not, and if you do have a question, speak up because the mic pretty much picks up towards this way, okay? I also adjust the audio when I edit the video. I've been through something like 3 video editing courses, and for those of you who might be in media or whatever, I use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is pretty much what Hollywood even uses, unless you're doing Star Wars, Galaxy Quest, or whatever. But Premiere Pro is a good product. I have mixed feelings about Apple, but we won't go down that lane either. But I have to add some titles to it. I can only shoot for 25 minutes. So somebody tell me when we get to the 25-minute mark here, or near the bottom of the hour on the camera. I forgot to start my timer here. That doesn't help much. Yes, sir?
Will these videos always be up on Canvas? Or
They'll be up until the end of the semester.
Okay. So we can read them.
They'll be up until the end of the semester. They'll just keep going there, which means you can always go back and watch one. Now, I do not want you to say, screw this, I'm just going to watch the videos. Okay, technically you could do that, right? You could. I want you to come. I want to have an interactive audience, just like you just asked a question that somebody else probably had, right? So I want you to come on the day you're supposed to come and watch at the other times. But obviously you can re-watch any video anytime you want. So that's one advantage of it. It confines me extremely, but you can go back and review them. Also, thank you for reminding me of this, on YouTube, there is a title for the video, and so the videos will be titled the day of the class, and I'll probably put an A or B on them too. So it'll be like August 17th, 2020, A. And then there's a description area on YouTube. Describe the video. Well, what I found works is I will put the takeaways from that lesson there. So you might look at a particular video and it will say Galileo's experiments, the ball drop thing, the things we covered in that class will be listed in the description of the video as the things you should study or look at as you go through that video. Okay? Now, here's the problem. I doubt if any of you know how to properly watch an online video. What you have to do is treat it like a real class. You can't put your phone on the seat of the car, streaming it, listening to it while you're driving around. Yes, sir?
Are you going to tell us to like and subscribe and hit the bell too?
Pardon me?
Are you going to tell us to like and subscribe and hit the bell too?
Yeah, okay. Well, hit the bell and like this. I can tell where you've been looking on YouTube. Hit the bell. Hit the bell. No, I'm not going to do that. But there will be a description of the takeaways from that lesson. So if you want to go, you say, I can't remember what he said about Copernicus' theory of the universe. Somewhere in the description of one of the videos it'll say, Copernicus' theory. And obviously you can scroll forward and backward through the video. You can jump to the end if you want on YouTube and jump to the beginning and whatnot and go over. But what you should do is wear headphones. You should plug in and tune out, as we used to say many, many years ago. Plug in headphones, sit down at your laptop or whatever with a piece of paper in front of you, just like you're doing right now, and take notes as if you were right here in this class. That's what you should be doing, okay? Go through it all the way, and then you can go through it again if you want, then you can rewind and so on and so forth and do things like that. Anybody got any questions about how we'll be doing this? Now, exams. Everybody will gather here. We'll have exams like a normal exam. We'll also have a review session. And again, we are damn lucky in this class that we got this big room. Treat yourselves as lucky. I'm really lucky because many classes, like my physics class, are in a room where we can't fit the whole class in. And then we have no choice but to divide it up. And so we have no choice about that. But here we can get together if we want. So we'll have review sessions before the exams, where we can get together. Usually the Thursday before the exam, we'll have a review session. And you'll have a review sheet that I'll distribute. And I'll also put any documents that I give out. How many of you are familiar with Canvas? Let me see how many. Okay, oh good, good. If you're not, start fooling around with it. It can be confusing as hell. But there's a place called Files. And if you go to Files, I put them up there in PDF format, and I also put them up in doc format, so if you've got Word, whatever your favorite reader is. Any document that I pass out, except exams of course, I'll be putting on there so that you can take a look at it. But I'll also be handing them out in paper format, okay? So you have a review sheet before every exam. We'll go over the material before every exam, and so on and so forth. Any questions so far? Yes?
Are we so on B days, what are we doing B days? We go here, we stay in our rooms?
On the day that you are not to be here, you don't come here.
What's the A, B, what does that mean? I'm sorry, that's my question.
You should have a sheet. Are you an A or B? No. There's a sheet here that tells you whether you're an A or a B.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay? If you're, on the day that your letter is there, you come on in.
Oh, okay.
And the day your letter isn't there, you watch the video. Now there's the problem. That means you're going to have to watch a video probably over the weekend. Yes, ma'am?
You said the 25-minute learn so we know.
Thank you very much. I would have forgotten about that. There we go. Okay. And I could actually, I know you know how hard it is to find a timer? It's next to impossible, okay? Yeah, the file sizes are so huge that it won't record longer than 30 minutes. I just have to recharge it. What I have at my home studio is I have a monitor. I have a monitor that faces me so I can see my lovely self in the monitor and see exactly what the camera is doing. So I can keep, oh yeah, we've only got a few minutes left. Thank you very much. I would have forgotten. I'm trying to think. So this is one way to find it. You can also go on Canvas. I'll also be sending out the link to each video so you know about that. What else can I say? As far as contacting me in office hours, I don't usually condone this, but given the circumstances, you got to play the game differently. You can contact me via email concerning your grades and so forth. I don't like the grading system on Canvas. Canvas does not let me do the most important thing I like to do, which is if we go through the semester and after you have taken some exams, there will be extra credits. People often say, where am I in this class? What's my grade in this class? That's not what you want to know. Your grade in the class at a particular moment is meaningless. What is important is, what do I have to do between now and the end of the semester to get a certain grade? What do I got to do? Can I get an A? Can I get a B? Hell, I got a C wrapped up. B I can get, A I got to really work my tail off. That's the kind of thing you want to know. Canvas doesn't let me program it to tell me that information. And I'm not going to enter my grades in 2 different places. So I use a spreadsheet. And later in the semester, I can tell you right where you're at. But if you have any concerns, you can contact me by email, or I will have office hours. I'll be listing them here. But my phone is 4792. Okay, 687-4792. I don't have a, as great as my computer is, I got these 2 beautiful 25-inch screens for editing video. I love it. I don't have a webcam. How stupid is that? Okay, so they'll get me one. But in their stupidity, the administration wants us all to use WebEx to communicate with each other. It's like, well, if you haven't got a webcam, why use WebEx? You got the damn telephone. Just call me on the telephone during my office hours and I'll be there. We can discuss it on the phone. Okay, later on I'll get a webcam. Maybe we can try the WebEx thing. But It isn't important for you necessarily to be able to see each other, but it is important that you can talk to each other, okay? So extension 4792 and 121, Compton Science Center. You can come to my office during my office hours. We'll just talk through the door. That's okay. We'll just talk around the door. We use the door as a barrier. So there are simple ways to get through all this, okay? You don't have to use all this technology. As a scientist, I often say that we use technology too much. Using excessive technology, like using a 55-ton hydraulic microcontroller press to open a peanut. Yeah, you can do that. Yes, I can do that. I've got the tools at home where I can do that. Why the hell would you want to?
This is a good game.
Why the hell would you want to? You know?
Fun.
Huh?
It's
Fun, for fun. But when you
Yeah.
rely, yes, for fun. But when you rely on doing it that way, that's when you crossed over the line, okay? I think with all that said, let's go through the syllabus. I've actually covered a large part of it, okay? You will need a textbook. I actually teach from the notes that the authors wrote years ago. I have a copy right here of the notes that these guys used to write this book. Okay, that they used and invited. Is it the perfect book? Hell no, but you know, you got to use some book. There are earlier versions of this book. That's okay. Use that one if you can, if you want. I'm not going to be assigning problems from it and stuff. So if you find a first edition or something like that, that's fine too. The page numbers might be a little bit different. But you need 7 ideas that shook the universe. We're only going to cover 6 of them. Partly because of, we've essentially lost a week because of all this. We actually lost 2 days of classes because of the shortened semester, at least as far as I can tell. So get the book, and I suggest you bring it to class with you and have it with you when we go through the videos, and treat it like gold. This is money. You leave this anywhere, what will happen to it? If I leave this right here and walk out of here and come back tomorrow, what's guaranteed to have happened?
It'll disappear.
It disappears. Actually, it didn't disappear. It went into somebody's bag, and it will reappear over here on the side of campus when the book buyers come at the end of the semester. These are like cash, so treat all your books as if they were pure money, because they are. Okay, they can be converted into cash. So you need 7 ideas that shook the universe. You need that as your textbook. Any addition is fine. I list a bunch of objectives here. I'm not going to waste time going through them, but there are other objectives that you should be aware of. That when you're here at college, learning to budget time and assign priorities. It's not time to play, it's time to work. And in these circumstances, it's going to be harder to work. So be ready for it, okay? Already, it's like, look at the silver lining. If you're not supposed to be interacting really closely with other students, well then, that means you can study more. Yes, sir?
Question.
Speak really loud.
How much does the book cost?
I have no idea. It depends on where you buy it from.
So Bryce, I think it was like $73.
Get it off the
Okay.
check, it was like $12.
Okay, now that's good.
Yeah.
But except for one thing. Except for one thing. It won't happen with this book. But it could happen with other books. If you've got a book, brand new, that's really, really cheap, what actually is going on? Who can tell me? Here's a biology book, $200. Over here, $50. Brand new book. What's going on? It's a stolen copy. Shake your head.
I prefer subscription.
However you do it. But there are certain countries, such as China, who will take a book like this, copy it lock, stock, and barrel, and it's not supposed to be sold in the U.S. They don't pay the author, they don't pay the publisher, they don't pay anybody. That's stealing. Okay? Those books aren't supposed to be sold here in the U.S. And if people, this is also true about music. As a musician, I'll speak out here. Every time you download music unfairly and don't pay for it, you're taking money away from musicians, and you know what's happened? We don't have any new music anymore because people can't make any money playing music and writing music because everybody steals it. So if you see a really great deal on a book, well, you might be buying stolen property. No one's going to stop you from doing it, but you're contributing to the textbook cost problem, because then the publisher doesn't get paid for the work they put publishing the book and so forth. Just be aware of that. Students who buy illegal texts are part of the problem, not the only part. Okay, not the only part, but just be aware of that, okay? Yes?
So we do have that here on campus?
Oh yeah, they've got it, they've got it. And you can also, if you want to buy books, you can go to the guy Fred at the Main Street Books can order books for you too. I don't know how the cost is,
Oh, okay.
but you don't have to buy it from the bookstore. But, okay, be aware that if you buy it online, you're potentially getting this done to you, okay? That was done to me over the summer. I ordered something on Facebook, never got it, or I got some simple little thing. It wasn't what was advertised, and I was screwed, okay? Don't come to me if you say, well, they said they had it, but they're not going to have it for 2 months. Hey, price isn't everything. Price is not everything. Having the book is what you need. So make sure they got it. And sometimes they'll ship it from some of these things they'll ship from overseas, and with the COVID thing, you may never see it. Just be aware, it's kind of a weird situation out there. Buy it from wherever you want, but the bookstore has it. Other questions? So we'll be going through this, at least the first 6 ideas, and I've already talked about, now as far as computers go, I prefer that you not use a computer during class, okay? I'm not going to worry about it this time. Of course, obviously you have to use one for the videos, right? I kind of have to have it there. All right, but I try and shoot the videos so that you could actually watch them on a phone. Okay? I don't recommend that, but I know some people are poor. If I can watch it on my $30 track phone, I don't want to hear any complaints about people not being able to watch the video. I just got a track phone. It hasn't been able to do anything for me. It's been able to do everything. I don't understand why people pay hundreds for a phone. I pay $30 for it. And no monthly fee. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, so we'll have 4 tests, and I've got them listed in the timesheet at the end there. You notice that they come closer together near the end of the semester. That we're going to spend a lot of time before we come up on that first exam, because that's really important stuff. And then the ideas tend to be more interesting but less important in your real life. And so the time between the tests starts to shrink a little bit there. But they all count the same. There's no final exam, by the way. Whoops, got to stay. There's no final exam. The 4th test is number 4. Okay? It covers, each test is sequential. They don't get cumulative. Each one is just on the material that we've covered. Okay, that helps a lot. So that last exam is not a final exam, it's just exam number 4. There will also be extra credits out there. Now, we used to be able to go to the planetarium show. Well, obviously, that's kind of hard to do right now. But Dr. Spates puts the planetarium videos online. And so there will be extra credit available, which can give you more than 100%, where you can watch a 30-minute video on YouTube or watch the monthly planetarium show, and then you have to write up a 1-page double-spaced report on it. I'm not looking for the greatest writing in the world here, but I want you to show me that you've watched and understand it stuff. And that can add up to a lot of credit. That can add up to maybe a half or more of a letter grade by the time that the class is over. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay, so there'll be extra credits available out there and so forth. I will primarily be communicating at the moment via standard FSU email. So you want to contact me, just contact me via FSU email me. Okay, but let me ask you to do this. Whenever you contact me, in the subject, because I'll be having boatloads of email, put the word cosmic. Or write Cosmic Concepts as the first thing of the subject. So that when I scan down through emails, I can look for any word that says cosmic, and I know it pertains to this class. My students in physics will put physics. My students in experimental physics will put experimental. Okay. Also, I'll ask you to put your phone away. Okay. As far as phones go and computers go in class, don't use them. I want you to be incommunicado. I want you to learn to write just like this fine lady is right here. She's writing. First your name?
Alethea.
What is it?
Alethea.
Alicia?
Alethea.
I'll get it. I'll get it. It's hard to hear with this, okay? And your mask. But anyway, this fine woman, she's taking notes. You have to do that. You have to do that when you watch the videos too. You cannot sit there like a bump in a log and just absorb it, okay? Even though you could just go back and watch the video. Who knows? The video might crap out. I don't know. Stuff breaks down, and I don't have a video for it. Then, you know, so be sure to do that. So put the subject cosmic. So what is this course about? That's a little bit slow. It's actually about, we got about 10 minutes here. And also when we go out, don't crowd. Go out one at a time through that door. Like, you know how they shuffle people at weddings, you know, this table, and then this table, and then that table. Well, this row can go, and the next row can go. Keep distance between you, okay? This is Cosmic Concepts. And it's partly astronomy. We start with astronomy, which is one of my favorite subjects. I'm an astronomer. Dr. Spates is our planetarium director, and he's a real astronomer. He's the real guy. He studies galaxies. But this is cosmic in the sense that the ideas are profound. That they are far-reaching, that they changed mankind, that these ideas were so profound that they changed us forever. It is true that, yes?
No, that means fire.
That could argue, the discovery of fire could be argued as one of those human teaching or human changing things. Fire could be, what's another one though, besides fire?
The wheel.
Yeah, those are technologies. I'm talking about concepts. And the concepts that we're going to study first are that the Earth is not the center of the universe. It sure the hell looks like it is, but it takes us 2,000 years. It takes us 2,000 years to figure out that the Earth is not the center of the universe. And you say, well, who cares? Well, if the Earth is the center of the universe, and that is heaven, how do you get to heaven? What's the only way to get to heaven? Don't make this hard.
You die.
You die. Okay? You can't go there. You cannot go there. If you believe the Earth is the center of the universe, you can't go there. That's heaven. You can't go there. But if the Earth is not the center of the universe, oh, well, that's just more of the universe. I can actually go there. Once you have this idea, the idea of extraterrestrial life, the idea of leaving the planet, orbiting the Earth, going to Mars, going to the moon, all of that becomes possible. It's a fundamental change.
Are you saying that Earth not the center of the universe?
I should say, the idea that the Earth is the center of the universe restricts us.
All I was saying is that the ideas associated with it, or is it the physical manifestation of Earth being in the center of the universe?
Both. The idea has to be, the idea that the Earth is not the center of the universe has to be substantiated by physical measurements. And those physical measurements didn't really come around until about the 1500s. It wasn't until the 1500s and 1600s that physical measurements were made that showed that we are not the center of the universe. And those ideas also got caught up in the church. And most religions put us at the center of the universe.
Yeah.
We have to be, but we're not.
Yeah.
And that wreaks havoc with the church and everything else. Okay, right? Cool?
Yeah,
Keep asking. Okay, 2. it was amazing that the universe follows mathematical rules. It is absolutely amazing that the abstract language of mathematics, can be used to describe the physical world. That's profound. That's one of the most amazing things. That we can launch a satellite or a probe from the Earth, and if we shoot it in the right direction, at the right speed, and we know where all the planets were when it was launched, that we can predict that in 9 months it will be coming right up to Mars. We might have to do a little bit of a correctional burn just to get things right on, but goddamn, we don't have to do anything while it coasts all the way to Mars and it just winds up there because we understand the mathematics behind the universe. It's amazing. The next idea, which is arguably the problem of our time, is that energy makes it go. Energy makes the universe go. Trillions of dollars are being made in the energy market right now. The more people there are on the planet, the more energy they use, the more energy, the more money the energy companies can make. So there's a big push to have as many people possible on the planet because they buy lots of junk and buy lots of stuff, consume lots of stuff, and lets me know, consume lots of stuff, and so on and so forth. And so what if it ruins the planet? Money's behind it. Energy has to come from someplace, so there's somebody right there to sell it to us. And there's going to be a shortage of it in a few years. Okay? 4, entropy is an idea that tells it which way to go. You might have noticed that things get hotter when they're placed over a burner, not colder, right? And a cold beer gets warmer, okay? Not colder. And a cold cup of coffee does not spontaneously get hot on its own. Heat flows a certain way. That's telling you that there is a certain way that time progresses and there's a certain way that things have to be. It tells you that certain things in the universe can't be undone. Now in psychology, there's a little thing, this might have happened. You ever gotten mad at somebody and said something to them that you really didn't mean, blah, 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 and you say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, There's no going back. The other person knows that you at least thought it for once, and there is nothing you can do to undo that. There is a one-way nature to that type of thing, and there's a one-way action in nature itself. We'll see that. And that has consequences. That has consequences on how we use the energy. Number 5, the concept of relativity, which leads to time travel and also leads to nuclear energy. It is hard to believe that we can blow ourselves up. I mean, we have, and we had at one time, enough weaponry pointed at each other that we could literally blow all of us on the planet to pieces. We still have that capability, it's just, well, I grew up in that era. It was terrifying. The object of a single device that can destroy an entire city like New York. Everybody. Destroy all the buildings, destroy it. One device dropped from a plane can do that. We have mastered that. Finally, we will get to what we call quantum mechanics, which is responsible for things like the laser, solid state electronics, and all this really cool technology we have. We'll talk about the fact that what comes out of this is that there are certain things that you cannot know about nature. That no matter how hard you try to measure things, nature is going to hide some things from you. You can't know everything about the universe. It is not possible. So I'm going to stop there, read through the syllabus carefully. Next class, I think, is it the A's that will be here? Right. Next class will be the A's, and I'll try and get this video posted just so you can practice with it, okay? Just so I can practice with it too. And I'll see everybody, some of you on Wednesday and the rest of you on Friday, okay? Let's all go out through this way, all right?
Just read the syllabus that's for Wednesday,
Say again?
Just read the syllabus for Wednesday, that's it.
Yes, and by the way, we'll be having quizzes, and next week, on the quiz on Monday or Wednesday, there will be some questions on the syllabus. Yes, ma'am.